All right, we're going to try this one more time. We have
Hayward Thompson, also known as HayJ, the strong grip comedian.
the strong grip. Right, we just covered the strong grip. And you drove here from where?
I drove from Cincinnati, but I'm a native New Yorker. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So, like every show, we started off with 3 random questions.
Okay.
And you get the opportunity, obviously, to read them.
Okay.
And then choose whether or not you want to opt out. And that's how we start. So, why don't you pick one and let's roll with it? Just read it out loud.
All right. When do you have the most difficult time telling the truth?
So, when do you have the most difficult time telling the truth? Being a man and all. Sorry, had to. It was easy.
In child support court. You know what I mean?
Okay. Child support.
Child support court, probably. Anytime I go to the dietitian, that's probably,
Yep. Yes, doctor. I'm eating my vegetables.
When I'm on stage, I mean, that's our job is to talk shit. So,
Hey, talking shit's good.
Whenever I meet up with the weed man, I always can't tell him how much money you really got, that type of shit.
Oh.
Other than that, it's cool.
All right. So lie to your weed man, people.
Yes, please do. Make it a national trend. Make that go trending on Twitter.
I got $2. What do I get for $2? Just give me a seed. No. All right. So what's our next question we have on the table today?
Next one is, who is the friend you most often disagree with?
We're gonna start some drama up in here.
I would probably say it was my business partner, Maria.
I like
she
Maria.
And I, only because when we do business together, when the disagreements fester, they become World War 24 instead of just 2 people who.
Well, that's because you're arguing with a woman. What's wrong with you?
When that woman got my money, though,
that's because that's a smart woman. Just saying.
No, be smarter just to give me my shit and leave me alone.
Okay. We're definitely going to start some drama here.
But I also, on the flip side, have to say that Maria is probably the friend that I also agree with the most. She also was the most helpful. So because we spent so much time around each other, that's probably why we would disagree more often, solely because we're very close personal friends and we have 2 different businesses we help run each. So we spend probably 10 hours a week talking somewhere. No.
Professionally married.
Not I don't even want y'all to even know.
Wait, professionally, you have children?
Professionally, professionally, I have children, not by Maria, though. I just wanted that to be clear, because I'm almost out the woods on the one I owe on right now. I ain't trying to have no more deductions. Okay, just get that clear.
So we're avoiding the child support office like the plague.
Right.
All right. So what else we got up in here?
What would you most easily be driven to kill for? And I would say hands down, that would probably be my kids. I am
that one's a giveaway.
Well, I'm saying in this context that I am one of those few. I've made a lot of sacrifices to be a good dad, and so there's some things. So there's just some other things that, some opportunities that I've passed up going out to LA. That I had some opportunities, but I would rather stay here. My son is, I believe he's on the path to go to the NFL, and I kind of want to be in his life too.
No. Is he over 18? No.
He's 14, built like me, but he's already my size. He's like, what up, Dad? Move your little ass up. Like, But so I'm trying to I'm glad you're not Jared from Subway.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But I just want to be around him long enough to make sure he's got male guidance into college and everything else. And if it's in God's plan for him to go into the NFL, then great. If not, then
break his knees. No, I'm kidding.
If not, I need you to go into somebody else's house. Just whatever. Somewhere in there, I need a U-Haul truck to pull up to this.
That is awesome. Sorry, as you can tell, I am the biggest smartass. My apologies.
I like it, girl. We're gonna be smartasses together. Do it.
Right. I would be coming your way soon.
Yeah, come on, that's right.
I'm excited about this. I haven't got to work with very many people out of your area, so
shit, ain't nobody else out here but you. Shit, where the hell am I? This is my man. I drove past 4 cornfields and each had the same corn stalk in that motherfucker. Shit, that's the same. Shit, I'm checking the GPS. They said exit the traffic circle. Which I got a traffic circle for? Ain't no traffic out this motherfucker.
Well, that's true. That is so true. He wants to know if you, one of our viewers, Andrew, wants to know, have you ever squared up with your son?
Yes,
question.
I did one time because he lost his mind and was very disrespectful to his grandmother. And I don't play. I come from a military background. You do your crime, you do the time. So he did his crime, and
You made him
got
eat
the
a
time.
bar of soap? I would have made him eat a bar of soap.
I made him eat a bar of knuckles. I'm from a native of Brooklyn, New York. We beat asses where we come from.
There you go.
You know, if you was bad enough to disrespect mom, to be bad enough to take these lumps, you know what I mean?
So were you scared squaring up with him?
Not at all. I was a state wrestling champion. I wish he would. I'll break his little ass up. If you even resist, I'll beat your little ass. You hear me? Just take this ass whooping voluntarily, little man, and gone. No, I wasn't worried one bit. Actually, he was praying to Jesus that I didn't kill him. So,
there you go.
I'm from the old school. Y'all can pull up the 241 kids in my house and take all the kids with you and shit, but I bet you I'm going to discipline these little motherfuckers.
Right? There are some bad kids out there.
Yeah. My son is we from the military, God, country, family, all of that. So you're going to open doors for ladies. You're going to shake hands. You're going to look people in the eye. You're going to help people across the street. You look at somebody in a wheelchair, you don't laugh at them, you pray for them.
All right. Well, before you leave here, I got 2 boys I'm going to send with you because, you know, I made the mistake of getting one of them a blow dart gun.
Oh, shit.
You wouldn't believe the things that they can turn into a pincushion. Well, they even got creative. You know what they did? They got a hold of a BB gun and stuck the little darts in there and figured it
out. Oh, man, you might as well give a black kid in the hood a Uzi. Shit, that's the same.
I was like,
about to be the same end result in this. I can't take no kids with guns. I came out here, I passed 40 Trump signs. I thought they was waiting on my ass with a sniper at the top of the roof. I'm like, Lord Jesus. I started singing the old Negro spirituals. Lord.
I'm gonna keep quiet. Okay. I could run with this, but I'm not gonna.
But we're 2 assholes, so we'll probably wind up messing with each other all night. So
go for it.
Works out great. I'm sorry.
No, what are you apologizing for?
I really wasn't apologizing. I was kind of being facetious. That was like one of them. Hey, Slim. You know, like when you call a fat guy Slim.
All these little bubbles. We should be getting that blow dart gun out, and every time we see the, you haven't seen them popping up there.
No, I was waiting to see one of the weed bubbles pop up.
Is there a weed bubble?
I don't know, but I need to be in that one.
Wow. So. I'm sure that we're out here. No, it's not legal in Indiana. It doesn't get used in Indiana at all.
Fuck out of here.
Got any advice for comics? Young comics. And welcome back, OG.
2 things. Young comics, don't quit. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. I'm going on 8 years now, and for the last 3 years, I've been able to do this professionally as paying the bills. Mm-hmm. This is what I do for a living. So don't quit. Secondly, one of the suggestions.
Hello, Maria.
And this is one of those double-edged suggestions. I was a guy who didn't believe in doing a lot of open mics because I felt like you were just feeding your competitors. Because very rarely does somebody say, "Man, I'm going out for a good time tonight. I want to go to this open mic and hear some amateur." No, most of the time people are at open mics or people who are just like you.
Yep,
so what I did, I went to other cities and changed my name. So I went to like Dayton and said, "How you doing? My name's Eric Smith." And if I bombed, they thought Eric Smith bombed. If it went well, I incorporated it back at home, and then therefore I didn't have a need to feed my local competitors my homework. So I don't want to tell people not to do open mics. I just tell them use them in a strategic way.
Okay, so what's you say doing their homework? Is that a thing that people still?
I can tell you,
jokes?
Ebony Monique, aka Ebonique, stole 2 or 3 of them. I'm looking dead in the camera, so there's no doubt. So they stole 2 or 3 of my jokes, did them on stage, and then had the nerve to say they wasn't mine. So yes, joke stealing happens all the time.
Okay.
So
I will put your ass on notice. If I ever hear somebody doing one of my jokes, I will get on that stage. I will snatch you right the fuck off of it.
But now here's the problem. So imagine being in my shoes. I'm 6'2", big as a house, and I ain't always was a comedian. I've had a little bit of a background where maybe I've been in a little bit of trouble every now and then, did a little couple times. How do you address a woman who stole your stuff without the rest of the world looking like you being a bully to her?
You just did it.
But that's my point. You see my point? Like if I was to get as angry with her as I was a dude, now I look like a bully on a woman, right? I'm lose anyway.
I suppose. I take that very, very serious. Although there's been a lot of talk about whether or not comedy is copyrighted, and so I looked into this because honestly, I do graphics, and I know that intellectual material is covered under copyright.
Mm-hmm.
So you can copyright the concept or the essence of the joke because it's uniquely yours. The subject is not.
Right.
So if somebody takes a joke that is in the same area of, it is not, you can't stop them, but verbatim on something that is uniquely yours. Like I have, mom jokes that obviously if a 23-year-old who doesn't have, 20-year-olds and they're verbatim, obviously they can't steal what I live personally.
Exactly.
So there is currently a case getting ready to hit the Supreme Court.
Okay.
You guys, I'm going to get the name of that. It's about David, one of the nighttime talk shows, one of their writers verbatim stole like 4 or 5 jokes. So it's kind of, and it looks like this guy could win.
I want that information myself
I promise you, I will get that information.
I'm curious.
So,
because you know what happens though is that now, in my opinion, they call it what I call the joke remix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in particular, I did a joke about a mechanic who I felt was a little bit too touchy-feely with the car.
Okay.
You turn around and Ebony did a joke about a boyfriend who was too touchy-feely with the car.
Mm-hmm.
Take out the word boyfriend, put in the word mechanic, everything else was word for word.
And this was kind
so
of the
that,
same
to
concept.
Me, is still in the joke.
Because what they said is if there was enough similarity from the original to the one that was being used, that any common person could draw the conclusion that those two were the same joke, it's joke stealing, and you open yourself up to actually be sued.
And see, but I'm from the hood. I don't want to sue her. I want to smack the shit out of her. That's what, like, I'm sorry. I don't, I wish it was a dude. Like, send me your husband so I can smack his ass. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
right.
I'm not trying to be out here and have Supreme Court litigation. Just be honest about what you're doing. When somebody come to you, if you took a joke and I came to you and like, yo, did you just do my joke? And one day you say, yeah, I did, my bad. Then the next day in front of the world, you say, no, it was my joke from jump. I don't care about a courtroom. I want to smack the, what the fuck? You understand? I mean, it's like, to me, the disrespect of how things are handled oftentimes is more, I guess, painful than watching your creativity being stolen.
I think that we should very well call people out if they're doing it.
Oh, I did.
Yep.
I did.
You
but in the age of social media, all she did is block and run, because rather than answering the tough questions, because she was dumb enough to put one of the things she stole from me on the video on her page. So you had a video of my joke and you put it on the page, and then a week later you're doing the joke with one word different. But no, you didn't take it.
That's terrible. We have some questions here. All right. First question. How do you write your comedy? Do you have like a writing process that you follow?
Yes. I actually learned something from Bill Cosby before he was raping people.
We don't actually know that there's ever a time that he wasn't raping. Just saying.
Well, I'm sure probably before 8 or 9 when he probably wouldn't get his dick hard. But before, after that, I mean, so somewhere along the rapey time, I'll put it that way. I learned somewhere around the raping shit. Basically, one of the tricks, because I actually teach stand-up comedy class, so one of the tricks I'm going to teach you I learned directly from Bill. I take 3 columns on a sheet of paper. One column I write 10 things that bring me joy. Mm-hmm. Another column I write 10 things that concern me or worry me. And then another column, a third column, I write 10 things that I would change.
Okay.
You normally can write your jokes. Your best jokes are going to come from that list, because no one else is going to be able to duplicate that list like you.
Right.
You and I both got kids, but our concerns about our children are probably different.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that list and then write your material from those topics, you normally will be more original than the next guy that's just coming along like, hey, there was a horse walking down the street at a bar. Like, you know, you're going to, you're going to always be more original.
That's a really good way to put
that. That's one thing I learned from Rapey Bill. So, I mean, let me say this for the record. I personally think Bill Cosby still is in my top 10 of favorite comedians in the world. Do I approve of the shit he did when he wasn't on stage? Not at all. He can't babysit my kids. However, I still, if you can separate the comedy from what the man did off stage, he was a genius. And the only thing I will say that I think is sad about it is for some reason people don't want to do that with Bill. Millions of fans did it for R. Kelly. Millions of fans did it for Woody Allen. Millions of fans did it for whatever. But for some reason, Michael Jackson, we can keep going. So for some reason, Bill has to be crucified. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be in jail because my firstborn is a daughter. If you rape her, go to jail. In a sense. I will say that you took an 81-year-old man and y'all felt the need to handcuff him in front of the world and walk him out in front, when I'm sure that Jeffrey Epstein was probably going to be handled differently at the end of the day. Yeah,
but he's at least still alive.
Well, I'm just saying, to me, in my opinion, they made a spectacle when they didn't have to. He could have still been handcuffed. He could have still been sent out, but y'all didn't have to embarrass the whole. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, I felt that there was a little bit of element of they was trying to embarrass him as well. And you can't be much more embarrassing than be 81 years old and blind, already going to prison, and the world has branded you all of this shit. You used to be America's dad. Now you next to Jared.
Okay, but why should he get any better treatment than the next person?
He got handcuffed and took the jail.
That's what I'm saying. Just because he was a great comedian shouldn't take off the fact that he couldn't keep his nasty hands.
I'm not saying that at all. He deserved all the prison time, all that he got. What I am saying is, if that's the case, how come the dude who came in right behind Bill, who was charged with the same thing, didn't get paraded out in front of cameras?
That's why.
That's all I'm saying. Well, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Bill raped them people. He should go to jail. Mm-hmm. He's where he's supposed to be. That's unequivocal. All I'm saying is treat him like you did everybody else. Either parade everybody else in front of cameras in front of the world, or treat everybody else the same way you did and walk them out the back door.
But that's not plausible, because not everybody is Bill Cosby. Not everybody.
Under the law, we all supposed to be the same person.
But it's not.
But then how can you then prosecute me or something? You telling me I'm going in is unfair.
You are a see, in my opinion, if you are obviously out in the public and they look up to you, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what the law says. You're held at a higher standard because people look up to you. You are even more so accountable for your own actions, which is why some people ended up swinging by their neck in their jail cell. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think that you take that on, and there are people that have made it that far, and they took that power that came with it and they abused it.
Well, I'll say this. This is probably where we'll just agree to disagree, because to me, your celebrity should have nothing to do with your rights. My rights should never be circumvented in the country because of my celebrity. I should still have the same right in court like everybody else. I should still have the same right to be treated the same way.
But you don't have the same, you have more power than the same person, because people look up to you. And so you can just,
but then you can flip that to the antithesis, though, Jacklyn. So there's people who look up to assholes. There's people who look up to devil worshippers. Should those guys get treated?
But they're not plastered all over your television.
They just ain't got caught yet. They're not Bill Cosby that has the microscope. Let's say this. I want us to be on the same page. I personally think dude is a rapist who is supposed to be in jail. I don't want there to be any unequivocal issues with that. All I am saying is that, to me, if his name was William Johnson, we would have never heard. He would have got the same time, same sentence,
but William Johnson
would have never been
wouldn't have had the same influence over females as Bill Cosby did.
Drugs did it. What do you mean the influence? He put drugs in their shit. He didn't walk up to them like, I'm Bill Cosby, come suck my dick. He put drugs in their shit.
Okay.
So I know, unfortunately, I know assholes, you fuckers, that are doing that right now. As a matter of fact, somebody did some shit to I don't even want to mention it, but I had a very close family member who was date raped at college. And if I found out who did, I'm going to fuck you up. Excuse my friend. So I'm saying, so all I'm saying is like, I'm not trying to condone it. All I'm saying is to me, you either treat everyone the same under the law or you don't. And that's and you can't change that because I made a certain amount of well then if that's the case.
But it's not it's the publicity that treats them differently. It's the
here's my precise point. That one courtroom that he was in where they sent him to jail, they had the option to take him out the back door, and they didn't. All the other defendants go out the back door. They sent Cosby out the front in front of that. That's all I'm saying. Either treat him the same. That's all I'm saying. You gave him time. He's going to prison. He's in a cell right now. He might be getting bent over. All of that shit. Okay?
Probably.
However, then everybody else, if my name was William Smith, you would have sent me out the back door straight to the jail.
Possibly.
My name being Cosby, I had to come out the front door and get paraded in front of cameras. And that's all I'm saying is to me, personally, treat me the same. Do the same shit you would do for me that you would do. Especially if I'm already convicted. What the fuck? Like, y'all
All
gonna
right,
make
let's
the
put the
81-year-old?
penises away. Move on from the rape.
Oh,
Damn.
my bad. Oh, shit.
I'm
We were
feeling
supposed
like,
to be. My bad. Let's
we're
move to some more fun
serious.
shit. So, in other words, let's talk about Trump and taxes. Oh, my bad.
Damn.
There's no more divisive shit that we can talk about.
Like I've said in the past, I am very vote green. Vote Kermit the Frog 2020.
Vote weed. Green. Is that green? Is that what the weed?
Well, I would say Kermit the Frog.
Oh, Kermit.
All right.
Vote. I got a homie named Kermit. I went to school with dude. Vote. Just vote for weed legalization.
Okay.
Shit.
I got another question.
All right,
Do
cool.
you think that comedy is the last base station for free speech? And even then, it's fucking censored.
I was gonna say the reason why I say no is because right now I am a professional comedian who is afraid to do certain jokes in front of certain people.
So yeah,
I'm realistic that I know my career. Part of the reason I loved what Chappelle did. Any of my friends who know, I had a Jussie Smollett joke that I've been wanting to do from day one. I even called a couple of my gay friends and said, "Is this joke too hard?" Both of them said no. Why? Because I'm the type of dude who's an asshole. I pick on everybody on stage. Mm-hmm. So they said, just go do what you do. Mm-hmm. It's not that we're, and this is from my gay homies. They were saying it's not that we're above being joked about. It's just don't beat us up. Right. You ain't got to stand there for a half hour doing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I personally don't feel that the free speech. I feel like comedy is being, let's be realistic. If you want to get on the college tour, don't do no race jokes, don't do no gay jokes, don't do no political jokes.
Based on your venue. Yeah, I agree with that.
So to me, it's all of it's under attack, whether it's digital, that's why I'm happy to be here. These independent mom and pop shit got more respect than the shit with all the litigations and regulations, because I can just come here and be real. We can still just talk about whatever. Mm-hmm. And if we disagree about something, we're going to dap it up and move on instead of somebody making ratings off of trying to keep, you see what I'm saying? Trying to keep us dividing.
I can say fuck all I want and talk about dicks. And
say fuck all you want. Talk about some dicks, girl. Shit, get it in.
And ain't nobody give me shit about
I don't like dicks, but mine. Let's just get it clear. But I'm just,
whatever. But we won't have to. No.
See, she's sliding in. She's sliding in.
All right. What do you think of Dave Chappelle's special? I have not watched this. I guess I need to. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay. Should I watch it?
I advocate everybody watch it. To me, what I love about what Dave did is he didn't give a fuck.
It sounds like a great way to be.
I mean, whether this you're talking about a dude who already walked away from 50 million. What else can he be scared of?
Fuck no.
I wouldn't have walked away from $48.50, let alone 50. You understand what I'm saying? So 50. So to me, I love the fact that he liberated himself from whatever. He is one of the few that has enough power in the industry to go say what he wants to say. I personally think he is borderline genius. There's only been 2 times in life that I've been watching something on the couch and stood up and clapped. It wasn't this special he just did. It was the one before that where he did the reverse joke. Did you see that one where he gave the punchline first?
You know, I am a terrible
Dave, if you watch this, that was fucking genius, bro. You made a fat dude put the wig down and clap for your ass. That was genius. That was genius to me. So call her names. Call her. Just,
you know what? You want to call me names? Just call me. Call me.
So yeah, I think he's a bomb. The biggest thing I like about Dave, to be candid with you, is that he's just 100% honest. Like, that's how he feels. Mm-hmm. And he's not gonna candy coat it for you. But I love the fact that he can put it offensive shit in a way where you don't necessarily walk away too offended about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can politely call you a fucking asshole.
I'm totally gonna watch this because I feel bad that I am completely unprepared. I knew about this. I've been reading about it. And I had to have known it was going to come up. My bad, you guys. I dropped the ball here. Balls. I'm not handling the balls well again.
I got the balls, guys. I got them. Okay.
I'm not handling the balls. Just saying.
She's not handling them. I got them.
Oh, we're frozen. Oh, there we go. We caught up. All right. So I got to catch up here. We've got a lot going on up in here. All right. Okay. So somebody says Sucks Bill got run through the dirt because he was black. Never forget.
I think it's because he's black. I think it was dough. I think it was cash. That's what I think it is. I think that was an example of, you think you better than us and we're gonna bring your ass down. He deserved every bit of jail time he get. Like, I don't, and I hope they got him walking around butt naked with honey on his ass. I don't care. Like whatever happened to him happened to him. I
Well,
care
you
about my
are one
brother.
kiki ass motherfucker. My husband is gone.
No,
That.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I just mean I'm sure somebody in jail was gonna want to give him a pudding pop. You know what I'm talking about? That's all. Give him a pudding pop. I'm sure somebody looking for him.
Okay, I need to watch what? I need to watch and stay after the credits. There's more. Oh, okay, I will definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
And I can't wait to meet Maria, man. I am super excited because I think I'm gonna like her.
You will. You just got to put her in a booster seat. When you put her right here, you're gonna put her in one of those seats like she at the restaurant.
Why is she short?
Yeah, she probably get about that tall.
I gave you the bottle over there.
There you go. She about as big as about as tall as her.
Oh, I thought you were giving me the cup like
No.
I was a freaking server or
No.
something. I'm like,
Like she could use this. She could use this to swim in.
That's great. I got to get video of that.
I love you, Maria.
Okay, what's this man's name? He's an interesting man. Would you reintroduce yourself?
My name is Hayward Thompson, Hayward J. Thompson, also known as HayJ. You can catch me on Facebook, comedian Hayward J. Thompson, on Instagram, HayJ _ Thompson, Twitter, some other shit that I don't check. I don't know.
Google him.
I ain't hard to find. The fat dude with gray hair.
Fat dude with gray
hair. You know what I mean? There you go.
This is perfect. So we've ran out of those kinds of questions. So why don't you tell me who are some of your biggest influences outside of Rapey Day? I didn't even say
Rapey Bill.
Rapey Bill.
Rapey Bill. You mean now or back in the? Because I guess one thing I want to explain is I consider myself to be a comedy scientist. Like I study the science of this shit.
Okay.
From delivery to timing to all of that. So there isn't too many comedians that have done something that I haven't seen their work. Some of them I study their work. So everybody from Jackie Gleason, Lucille Ball, Robin Williams. In other words, I'm not one of those people that's like, man, if it ain't a black comedy, I ain't. No, I watch all that shit. So the very first album I ever listened to in life, I snuck into my mom and dad's room one time when they had left, and I thought I was putting on a Roberta Flack or some shit. It turned out to be Cheech and Chong.
Oh, nice.
So I'm 7 years old listening to a Cheech and Chong album about smoking all kinds of weed, which that was my start. Thanks, Pop. I appreciate it. And so I remember every time they snuck out, I hope my mom ain't watching, I started listening to that album all the time to the point where I think I scratched it one time and I think they caught on to that. So I was like, oh, shit. So I remember not being able to listen to it no more.
That's wild, though. You were sneaking in and listening to a Cheech. It's not like you were still a hustler.
No, what? Well, I was about the age of 9. I was, you know what I mean? I was actually a doorman at the Hustler store, because when you're this big, you can be a bouncer for anything.
Nice.
But so actually my first actual influence was Cheech and Chong. From there, I would say Flip Wilson, Richard Pryor, like the older guys, Richard Pryor. I love Jackie Gleason. I love Robin Williams. I love Steve Martin. I would say, you know, some of those guys. More modern, Chappelle, obviously, but right now I'm a huge Earthquake fan. I'm a huge fan of Tony Roberts. I like what I call jokesmiths. I'm not a fan of, so let me say this in case any of y'all want to hire my fat ass. I can do it, okay? But I'm not a fan of the guys who feel like they gotta fall down on stage, dance a dumbass dance, come out in costumes, and I like guys like Ron White that's gonna stand in front of the mic and rock me for 45 fucking minutes. The most he's gonna do is hit the fucking cigar and take a drink. He don't need to dance. He don't have to smash watermelons over the head.
I have Lucy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to come out, you know, costumes and everything else. You know, Ron White is a good example of what I call someone who's just gonna stand in one spot and smack you with them jokes.
Interesting.
So I'm not a big fan of the people who feel like they gotta come out and do. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
I have Lucy.
Lucy's cool, but like
no.
Like,
I mean,
let me give you an example.
Lucy.
I've had this debate with a lot of I'm not a big Martin Lawrence fan, and a lot of people are like, why not? Well, to me, if Martin didn't talk like this, he wouldn't even be all that funny. He said shit, but he was talking like this, so he's funny, right? Fuck out of here, man. Say a joke, bro. Tell me a joke, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, say something. I was walking down the street in Gina and shit, right? And girl, she has a big ass titties tied up. Fuck. So I'm not knocking him. I'm saying I like a dude that's gonna stand here that don't have to add all that extra shit in it. Rock me with the jokes, bro. Like that's just kind of how I am. I'm not. But Martin, I need a job, though, Nick. So if you know.
Okay, so we have a question. It's probably not reliant, but how do you get a comedian to make fun of you? Piss them off.
How do I get a comedian to make fun of me? I
Piss me
just
off
walk in the
during my
room
set.
when
Yeah.
you're 6'2", 350.
No.
Shit.
They want to know how you get sometimes I guess the crowd likes to be heckled. And okay, you know what? I've that pisses me off. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of banter, but what about you?
When the crowd, well, here's my thing. The technique I use, I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been heckled twice in 8 years. One of them, well, let me put it like this. One of them, I made that guy get up and leave the club. I roasted the shit out of him.
Nice.
The other guy, he wound up having security called on him because he just wouldn't fucking shut up. Like it was just, dude, it's obvious it's over. I roasted your ass. Stop it. He had more liquor than anything.
Right.
By the time everything was over, security, would you get this guy the fuck out of here?
I've never been heckled though. It's usually drunk people wanting to add commentary.
No, I have that. I don't call that heckling.
Yeah.
The drunk people who want to talk, I embrace them almost, believe it or not. And there's another comedian tip. I got 5 one-liners already waiting for anybody who wants to be a part of the conversation.
Right.
If I get to the 5th one, you probably already understand that I'm not to be fucked with.
Right.
And you need to shut the fuck up and let me finish my show.
Right.
If I even get to the 5th one, you probably want to fight my fat ass in the parking lot by now. The 2nd or 3rd one to make you really shut the fuck up.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm already prepared for that. But what I'll say this also, if you are a male comic and it's a drunk female, embrace her. Go with it. Maria can tell you about a show I did at Dave & Buster's. We had a drunk female come up on the stage and sit down next to the band and change my whole show. I did the whole show then about roasting her. And most people enjoyed that show, I think, more than they would have anything else.
Right.
So be prepared to embrace them if you can, but also have your material and your shit together so that you can shut them down when you need to. At the end of the day, the stand-up comedian who is on the stage needs to be in control of the room. Period. Once you've lost control of the room, get your ass off stage.
All right. Courtney says that her husband told her that he always wanted that to happen to him. Okay, so be roasted. And you know what? You do maybe for a little bit, but once you've pissed a comedian off, dude, you've got a target on your back and you are not going to walk out of there unscathed.
Yeah, I can tell you, like, in order to piss me off, you would have had to have done it multiple times.
Right, but once or twice.
And an asshole and shit. There are some people, like, sometimes, especially when it's females, because oftentimes my material is very assholey. You either love me or I've had people like, when the fuck are you getting off the stage? You know, I don't get a lot of in the middle. You either love my fat ass or you like, man, next.
Sounds one like of them. Okay. Freaking open mic I've been to.
So to me, my rationale is this: when I know I'm only going to be up there a certain amount of time, I don't. And this might sound crazy, I'm not up there for the crowd. I don't give a fuck if I get one laugh. And anybody who knows me, know I don't care. I swear I don't.
Okay.
If I'm having fun, fuck y'all. I'm here for me. This is not stand-up comedy. This is me having therapy to keep from taking a rifle and killing everybody outside. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about y'all. This is me going to therapy. Y'all just happen to be there because I couldn't afford the shit. Okay? So I'm gonna do this shit up here on this bar, this open mic, and get this shit out. If y'all laugh, great. If not, fuck it. I don't care. So I have a sense of a real sense of not giving a shit on stage. And I think people embrace that, like, oh, this dude really don't give a fuck. And when you add that into it, it's kind of like, well, all right. Well, I don't give a fuck either. Let's have a ball. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those, let's just go and kick it. One thing I think is also different about me, I got started in black clubs, but got my money. I got my money from white clubs.
Interesting.
So in most markets, I am oftentimes the one black comic that's booked on the show of white dudes. So I get along with a lot of, because if I had my way, my comedy would be 75% political. I'd be Bill Maher if I could. I watch politics shit, politics and sports. Okay, cool. That's I'm cool. So I don't want to talk about. But actually, if you talk politics, you are talking about dicks. A lot of
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? You are talking about dicks.
I stand corrected.
They're just 5'9" and 180 pounds and got mouths. But other than that, most of them are dicks. Yeah.
See, now I personally don't mind the interaction with the crowd. I love crowd work. Anytime that I get the opportunity to do it, I will take advantage of it.
You know, that's good. I like it too. But I'm also a dude who prepares his material well. So I almost, if I'm up here for 15 minutes and I did 7 or 8 minutes of crowd work, I normally leave the stage disappointed. Here's what normally happens for me. I now have to scramble to figure out what fucking jokes I'm going to do rather than just doing my whole set.
Okay.
My brain says, okay, well, we don't have time. You only got 5 minutes left. So don't do this joke. Don't do that joke. Do this joke, that joke, that joke.
Interesting.
And so I almost prefer a little bit of interaction, but at the end of the day, shut up and let me do my shit. You know what I mean? Like, let me do
that's so
what
weird
I do.
How different it is between you and me. Because for me, I'm like, okay, I wasted 5 minutes of my time working with the crowd. So I just jump to the middle of, none of my jokes are memorized in order. I say them differently every time I get on stage because it helps me.
Right.
If something like that happens.
Right. And so the situation I'm in now, and I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, but when you're at the point where you have promoters who are calling you to say, I want you to come do this St. Louis casino, they don't want new shit. They're calling me to say, the same show I saw you do in Indianapolis at Joker's, come do that same fucking show in St. Louis. Okay. The same show I saw you do in Chicago. I have some promoters who have told me what jokes of mine they have wanted me to do.
Interesting. Yeah. You know what? Okay.
I get, do you see what I'm saying?
No,
so some of them are like, we don't give a fuck what you like. I'm paying you to entertain these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I need you to get up here and do the shit I saw you do before. Now you could throw in some new shit every now and then if you wanna. But is that mine?
No, that's the stripper music. But unfortunately, you were late and they went home. So there's just not on cue right now.
Well, fuck it, I strip. My bad.
But no,
my
you
bad,
are
Pastor.
right.
My bad, Pastor.
And that's the whole dealing with bookers and promoters has been new for me.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm not used to. I do what I want when I want. I say what I want when I want. I'm, that's just who I am. So when I started having suggestions on how I dress and
that's huge too.
When to curb certain words and when I mean, it's like all of a sudden it became a whole new playing field.
Yes.
And that has been very different for me because on this show, as everybody that knows me knows, I fucking don't give a shit. I love
it. This title of the show should be "Fuck It, Don't Give a Shit." I love it.
Rumble Renegade. Rumble Strip Riders.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't. Oh yeah, you probably didn't know I have. Yeah, only action I find anymore. Rumble Strips on the side of Hayward.
Oh.
Think about it.
I did. I just don't want to. Because my pastor watching. How you doing? Praise the Lord. All right.
No, really.
I'm joking. Don't listen.
I was going to say there should not be any pastors watching this. We come with a warning.
But that is true for me. Like I am known on the Christian comedy circuit as well. I get a lot of Christian comedy shows. I get a lot of like. There isn't any type of comedy show that I have been excluded from being able to do, from blue to Christian to clean to family, Cosby, the city. I teach at Improv Cincinnati. City of Cincinnati had me come do some comedy to some teenagers that were at-risk teenagers in school. To me, if you're funny, you can do it.
I'm working on clean material. And that's been very
clean
hard.
Material gets you more money. Hear me when I say the fact that I can take these earrings and shit out and go, how y'all doing today? Joke number one.
And real quick, I want to give a shout out. Rich Scheidner has been kind of working with me and he's been amazing. And I just want to say a quick thank you.
What's up, Rick Scheidner? You know what I'm saying, homie? When you gonna call me? When we go?
I don't know. I'm sure
I don't know who the fuck it is, but call me anyway, though.
He's definitely somebody that has been helpful as far as clean it up. You'll get more work.
Well, I gotta say the same thing. I gotta send a shout out to my left hand, Maria. She makes ovations run when I ain't there. I appreciate you, little mama.
I get to meet her next month, and now I get to meet you finally. I've talked to you several times on the phone.
Yes.
Thank you, Ike, for introducing us.
What's up, big Ike? Well, medium Ike. You can afford to eat a cheesecake. It's skinny one. Yeah, my bad.
He's a little.
That's my dude. He one of the few people that we would be friends whether we was in the joke business or not. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is real mellow. I like his mellow. Because some people come off so aggressive. He's not like that at all.
I used to think he just stayed high, but when I realized he don't.
I don't know, but
you know what I'm saying? Ike just like a skinny Barry White, just like what up?
Yeah, right. He's just smooth cat.
Yeah, all right. I just killed 7 motherfuckers. You want to be 8? All right.
That's great. So, we a team. Oh, hashtag ovations. Yes, give your shout outs. Absolutely.
Yes, I appreciate you, Marie.
Right. So, we're curious. What was like the worst time or craziest time on stage you ever had?
When I had a guy try to come up on stage because he was pissed at me. It was an older gentleman who got pissed because I was making jokes about how watered down the drinks were.
Okay.
And what he didn't know is I'm a comedian. That's what we do, number one. And number two, I don't fucking drink. It was a joke. I don't even fucking drink, dude. So it was like, sit your ass. But he came up, he had a cane and everything. He was like Moses old and shit. He's shaking the cane like, I'm gonna come up there and beat your ass. And I'm laughing like, security, get this motherfucker, please. Security. Somebody get it. Dude, get him. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to hear the irony of it, it turned out that he was the brother of the owner.
Oh, no.
Right? And then here's what's even more ironic. I wound up buying that bar from that dude almost a year later. So I wound up owning the same shit that he said we had to water down the drinks. You know what I'm saying? Me and Maria, we was business partners. We went in 50-50, and Maria ran the front part, the bar. And can you believe I ran the kitchen part? You know what I'm saying? I did the kitchen part. But yeah, so it was a good experience, but I'll never do that shit again. Okay. Yeah. I'll never do it again.
Why not?
First of all, it's weird dealing with people when you don't drink. When 90% of the people around you they come in there to get drunk.
Right.
So by the time the night is over, you're dealing with drunks on a consistent basis, yet you don't drink.
Right.
That's a weird thing. The whole place was bought because we were already doing our shows there. Ovations was doing their shows there, and then the gentleman, Everett Meadows, I love y'all. Everett Meadows, who owned it at that time, called me and said, bro, I'm about to sell the place.
Right.
You got to find someplace else to do your jokes. And me being the hustle I am, asked him, what you finna sell it for? He told me what the amount was, but he also showed me a letter where he had gotten an offer for $35,000 more than what he took from me.
Really?
He took $35,000 less because he wanted to keep it in the family. That's how he looked at me as a family member.
Okay.
So me and Maria partnered up. We went in there and did what we could do. We did our thing. We had that place rocking for about 4 years. But it was bought for the purpose of us having some place to do the comedy shows.
Right.
Maria's not a huge drinker. I don't drink. I might drink for New Year's, maybe birthday. I'm the dude. You can leave a bottle at my house and it'll be there 6 months later when you get back. Maybe a sip though. You leave your weed at my house though. I appreciate your donation. So we bought the place with the purpose of doing the comedy shows, and then what happened was that the comedy shows became second. We literally became a kitchen manager, a bar manager, the rent $5,000, the lights was $5,000. We had to make $20,000 a month just to be broke. Then you want me to go up on stage and tell some jokes? Some people fuck about them jokes. I'm sitting here on stage watching one of my bartenders fuck up an order of wings that I got to replace. I'm watching another bartender that I see didn't put that money in the drawer so y'all want me to stand up here and tell jokes while I'm watching my business go down the drawer. So it was weird. Maria's one of the few people who know that, and I haven't confided this in public before. Even though I owned it, was called Indulge VSP Lounge. We owned it together, but even though I was one of the owners, I dreaded performing there. I hated performing at my own place. Maria know that, to the point where what we did is we turned that into leverage. We created a comedy competition, and one of the winners of the comedy competition was allowed to host the next show. So all I had to do was host the first one. From there, we pretty much gave it a piggyback. But I hated being on stage in my own place, and that was crazy because the business overtook the joy of telling jokes.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely get that one. Yeah. I used to do security. Believe that. I used to be a cop and did security.
Oh, but shit.
Anyway, I get what you're saying, though. You stand there and you watch people come in, and they'll be sober, and you watch this digress throughout the evening, and it's sad but funny at the same time. Yeah. And then really what you look like when you're drinking, and I occasionally partake.
You know what's more sad is when you know that there's probably a kid at home that ain't eating good because their mom just dropped this last $50 up here at this bar. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. I starve my kids all the time.
Yeah, so that was kind of what it was for me. Like it was more of a business investment. It wasn't something that my heart was in. If the opportunity comes back up, I would probably have just a restaurant that has a stage in it that didn't deal with the liquor element. Okay. Because the liquor element just added way too much headache to it, too much regulation, everything else. I, believe it or not, would think an idea. Well, I don't want to tell my idea over there, but I got a good idea for a restaurant concept that I've got an investor, Ray, I love you, that's going to help me try to get that off the ground.
I'm thinking those dancers are going to be nude.
No, actually, won't be had nothing to do with no dancers or nothing. It's gonna be strictly, it's gonna be strictly a good food concept. You stupid. Strictly a good food concept. I mean, that's a compliment in the hood, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just trying to
You
get
know what I'm
mine.
saying? Like, you stupid. Like, thank you. Appreciate you. I work on that. I work on that stupid shit. I appreciate you.
I'm on it. See, I can do my shake thing. No.
I'm fat. I shake anyway. So, fuck it. It's just, you know, I breathe and shake.
I got nothing, dude. I got nothing.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I am wanting a big bowl of Jello right now.
See? Diet blueberry Jello. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, he's just putting it right out there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit.
And,
Well, I mean, look at the
again,
camera. I'm
we
taking up
have-
half if I do this, like half the room.
What are you gonna do? The chicken dance?
Wow. Oh,
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
black.
no,
I do
no,
chicken
no,
dance
no,
every
no.
motherfucking.
No,
Never mind.
no, no.
Let me stop. I'm selling real beer just shit all night. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, done. I'm here until 12.
So, everybody, you are welcome. Since you got a lot of new people watching today.
What's up, new people?
Ask questions. I'm serious. Marcos, Charles, thank you for joining. B, thank you for joining. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
like
lean in and
scroll up.
squint like I can really see this shit.
That's why I have this over here, even though the camera's over there.
All
right.
I can't see shit anymore.
Jamie, oh, she chimed in. Awesome. I know Jamie is the mom to one of my daughter's friends. They played soccer. So,
Jamie's a soccer mom. How are you, Jamie?
I was a terrible soccer.
Are you a soccer mom, Jamie? I bet you've got a washer and dryer in the back of a Honda minivan right now, don't you? Fucking Jamie, I bet you've got a Costco, Sam's, and bulk card somewhere, don't you?
Probably.
all
and
of that
course,
shit.
Diesel Reeves.
Hey, Jamie, I'm going to surprise you. I used to play soccer. Yep, I was a fat ass goalie. I could kick that ball to Jesus. Swear to you. Don't have me running and shit. Don't have me doing the running shit. But the
And of
kicking
course,
shit.
Courtney.
Ah.
Angie joined us.
Shit, I kick the
All right,
ball.
I'm giving my shout outs as I see him. Brian.
Oh shit. Oh. I just saw this animal come. Hey, don't clutch the ball.
Oh,
hey,
no.
she just had this big ass attack cat just came running.
Somebody told me that you like pussy.
I love pussy. Oh, well, just not.
Somebody said that you liked it furry. And so we have a mascot.
See, this is some bullshit. Like, I don't even know how to answer. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say furry, but I don't want to act like I'm dating a
she's warm and
14-year-old
furry.
either.
Can I get one of my teenage boys to come in here, please?
I'm
a mama.
Can we
See,
get
and
one
I
of the
do this
teenage-
out of my house.
Right. We doing this at the crib. You know
We
what
are.
I'm saying?
You
We in the
see-
middle of East
Evan,
Jesus.
I need you to come, please.
Take a left at the tree, go down by the house, take a right at the rock, and then walk down past the chicken, and you're there.
What do you guys think? Do you like my pussy?
Hey, don't get me beat up. Hey, I'm not trying to wind up Ricky
Evan.
Bill. Let's get this understood. I'm not touching her. I'm not grabbing her by nothing. Okay, Trumpers or whatever. Okay, let's not get me beat up.
We're gonna dance. We're gonna take the dancing cat.
She's gonna take the dancing cat. What's going on, homie?
Oh, all right. We've got our cat handler.
We got our cat handler.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, sir. Oh my man, he was shy. He didn't want to come on camera. He got child support cases too. Y'all ain't gonna get me in this.
We're gonna go have cat for dinner.
Be like, okay, that's called the chicken number 7 at the Chinese restaurant.
Well, thank you, Courtney.
Chicken
I'm
and
glad
broccoli.
that you're enjoying us.
Courtney, call me.
Like she just said she was talking about her husband.
Oh no, Courtney, I'm cool. Don't call. Oh, you know what I mean? Unless I got some weed, we can smoke up though.
I'm a 420 friendly bystander.
I was joking, hubby. I ain't know she was. I'm a cool fat dude. Don't worry.
That stuff just makes me go. Hey, by the way, Marcos, thank you for checking in. Charles, thanks for coming in. Don't forget, we've got comedians. Did you get your invite to my show, my party? I'm having a party. We're having a party here, out in the middle of nowhere.
I got the invite.
Yeah, he's probably not going to come. Sorry, guys.
I don't know what the fuck she talking about. Yeah, I got.
You didn't?
Nah, yeah, I got. No, I didn't get it. I don't know what you're talking about. I just didn't want to. I just want to be involved in some shit. Like I want to be there. I'm gonna be at the party.
We got lots of fun coming on. You can take some mic time.
It's gonna be here.
Yes.
Man, I ain't coming back after, man. Shit.
I thought you liked hanging out with me.
I don't mind hanging out with you. I mind hanging out where I went through white land, new white land, old white land, 4 white mans, some other shit.
Okay.
I'm telling y'all, the whole time out here, for the 20 minutes I was out here, I was a Republican and everything. I just wanted to make sure when the cop got behind me, my heart jumped out like Mickey Mouse arm. I'm telling y'all. So I will never come back to her home. Like if I see her again, it's gonna be around a major highway, an expressway, some shit that has an exit and things like that. Like even right now, I'm worried about getting out of here before it's dark because I ain't seen a street light since Cincinnati. I'm just other than that, we cool.
I would offer you, this is going to come back to bite me. I'm so sorry, but I would offer you a white sheet to get out, but you would look like the State Park Marshmallow Man, and they might try to roast you.
No, I don't want the white sheet because I'm afraid, they might be like, well, we got us a light skin one now, brother. Whee! Let me tell you something. It'd be my luck. I bump into the country weatherman like the forecast for Tornado Valley is tornadoes.
I was thinking some chocolate and some graham crackers and.
No, I'm telling you what, I got to take a gas and motivation. They're going to catch this motherfucker. You hear me? I bet you. I will crash land into a police department before I'm stopping for anything out this motherfucker.
Well, then you'd be safe because they know they the donut place. They ain't sitting at the police station.
Oh, shit. Oh, I saw it was a crew of them motherfuckers up there. They was.
Wait, where?
Where I came off was one of the traffic circles.
I don't know.
There was 17 something the fuck was going out there because it was all kinds of.
Oh, well, that's the mini Indy 500. Didn't you know that?
Do I look like I know that?
No, now you know. The traffic circles around here just.
I even put on my Facebook page, I made it to East Jesus safely. I have no idea what the fuck I'm about. I don't know what I'm at. Like, and so if I disappear, I disappear, I'm letting y'all, my destination from here is Indianapolis, Indiana. And if I don't make it, I love y'all. Shit, I tried. Just remember the 3 columns in the Rebby Bill conversation.
So Courtney says, what's your number? My husband has congestive heart failure. He used to be a big guy too.
Well, you know what, Courtney, inbox me, bro. Inbox me, bro.
Wait a minute. Do I need to be turning this into the love connection?
No, I'm playing. But call me when he died. When you get that check, though. Let me. Oh my man, I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
Life insurance policy.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm only single on Fridays, so let me know when. Okay. Saturdays I gotta have somebody. Thursday nights after midnight, but Friday nights, but it's me and you, Courtney. Get that check, bro. Get that.
He's got this figured out, man.
Okay, for the record, Courtney, I'm playing with you. I don't want my people at home to be like, oh, so you trying to get some white chicks on the internet, then I'm gonna get stabbed with a Black Lives Matter
she's white. That picture
we in the middle of Whiteville. I went through White Land, New White Land. Let me go back to the White Land, New White Land. I'm on White Land Road right now.
No, he's on Rob Hill.
Same shit to a. Anyway.
No, that's bird shooting season.
Bird shooting?
Beep,
oh, Lord.
Beep, beep.
Oh, Lord. They shooting birds? Oh, Lord.
You would look like a big pheasant.
A big ass turkey, right. Shit, she ain't making this
my favorite is the dark meat, so.
Oh, that's going to be. Oh man, I mean my luck. I run into you in a badass part of town when the sheriff got one name and shit. Like, how you doing? My name Roscoe. Like, oh shit, you ain't got no last name. Yeah, I'm out here. I got one out here on the county line. Like, damn, you ain't got no officer number. Why? Because you the officer, motherfucker. I got pulled over with a white lady one time next to a cotton field in Valdosta, Georgia. And yes, I'm still here. I should have a statue in front of a WIC meeting or switch building or some shit.
Oh my
I thought
God,
they was gonna beat the shit out of my black ass. Right there on I-75. I started singing Negro spirituals. I just put my hands on the hood like 5 heartbeats. Like y'all say y'all singers. Won't y'all sing something?
I'm going to end up pissing myself. I got a pillow here. Soak this up.
Shit.
Okay, we are getting down to last 8 minutes, something like that. So
8 minutes, Dougie Fresh and No Show. So this is the part where I strip? Is this a strip part?
Yes, you can totally strip while you're plugging away.
Let me start with my socks.
And then I'll throw some plugs in.
Okay, so plugs. We have a monthly comedy competition called the Laugh It Up. It happens down in Cincinnati. Please get with Maria Cavallaro. She will help y'all sign up or go to Ovations Entertainment.
I'm going to be there in October.
Group.com. Maria, I just answered your question. Jacklyn will be there in October. September 27th, we've got a series that we do called the Fire and Mike Show. The Fire and Mics, the concept of Fire and Mics instead of Fire and Ice is Fire and Mics. And the concept is there is no openers. There's no headliners. Everybody that's on that bill is good enough to be a headliner. Everybody's got 20 minutes and everybody's coming with their shit. So the Fire and Mike series, the September installment is September 27th. I also co-sponsor a poetry slam called the Regal Rhythms. We've basically taken a poetry slam out of the party. So if you can kind of imagine partying with some groove, it's called October on October 19th. We have the Sweetest Day thing. And here's one thing I got to say. People look at me crazy when I say about the poets. Poets are just as fucked up as comedians.
You think?
They're spoken word or they're just as fucked. They just do rhymes and we do jokes. But poets, nut
We're
fucking
just
bags.
funny. The other
like
ones
everybody.
make you want to.
Nah, they funny. They just don't know they funny. I laugh at a lot of these motherfuckers. I ain't, shit.
Don't let them know that.
I ain't gonna. I'll let them know. I'm big. The big dude in the blue said he laughs at all you motherfuckers. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
see?
damn, Maria
That's
is on it.
That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's my girl right there.
Let's see who we got. The Sweetest Day edition.
Right. So it's hosted by GBD and co-hosted by Mo Poetry Phillips, and the feature, her name is Mahogany Brick House out of Chicago. So and then, you know, that's one of the new things we added to the city. We just did our first one about a month or so ago. We had a great turnout, good reception. So, you know, people in Cincinnati wanted another one, so we doing it again. Right, they'll keep supporting. So I just try to bring entertainment alternatives to the city instead of always giving you an open mic or a band on the stage or whatever. Try to just do something different. Everybody's entertainment dollar is growing. Everybody's preference is growing. So let's just try to do some things different. Right now, the hardest part is getting people out the fucking house. Between Netflix and streaming and everything else, people got just as much entertainment at their house as they do.
Nice out, and I'm noticing when it starts to get cold and people want to get the hell out of their house, but they can't go outside. Nobody wants to go outside.
Well, yeah, that's when your bookings are going to pick up in the winter because comedy is an indoor sport. So people got to, you know, so even when I had the club, I knew that it was not going to make any money in the summer because now we're in a winter state and everybody wants to go outside to enjoy. So all those festivals in the park and shit like that. So we always reduced staff, reduced everything else in the summer. In the winter is when they got to come indoors for their entertainment. And now that's when
everything's
we get a couple of dollars,
which
you know.
Makes total sense.
Exactly. Especially if you know promotions and marketing and all that good stuff. That's just something you should be smart enough to know.
Nothing.
Well, I'll say this. Show business is 2 words, show and business. And if you don't know both, they're not going to work together. And I would definitely say I know the business. I'm still learning as much as I can about the show, but business has been something that I've been blessed to be good at since I was a kid, and comedy just happens to be the one I'm in now. So,
okay, my plug, October 16th. This is 100% confirmed, and I will post my little pretty flyer later. But I am performing at the Old National Center. You need to come out and see me. Got to buy those tickets online beforehand. 20, I think it's 20 or 25. I'll put the link in there. 35 show up the door. Buy the tickets beforehand, come out and support me. And it's not just me. We've got other bands and acts and stuff like that. So I'm just the only comedy. So now you got to come and see me.
You got to come support. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, always support your fellow comedians.
Let me say this. Always try to give a little extra love to the female comics. They go through shit that a lot of us don't. A lot of female comics are equally as good and they don't get booked as often or whatever. So I try to support on every one of my shows. I always make sure I got a female comic.
I'm patting my eyes.
So, no, I mean, for real, because y'all go through shit. They either expect y'all to fuck y'all way to the top, or they don't think y'all is good, or they'll offer y'all $10 instead of paying us $200. You know, I've been there because some of my best friends in the game are female. So I try to support y'all, you know, by paying y'all equal the whole 9. A lot of people don't, but that's part of the plug. I just want to give to y'all. Try to support, especially the females, man. They need that shit, bro.
It is hard though being a female comedian. We got a few minutes before we wind down to our 60 minutes, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. It's a little harder to get booked, and we find out that we've had this conversation in the past on the show about female comedians end up, not all comics are our competition. Other females are our competition.
Our competition because y'all like a rarity.
Well, and they will only book so many on a show, and
right.
You know,
let me say this to anybody who's listening. Don't argue and bitch and moan about where they put you out on the poster. Argue and bitch and moan about where they put you out on the lineup.
Yes.
I've had a few people get upset because they didn't like that their picture was like down in the corner or up or something like that. And that's cool. That's your personal preference if that bothers you. But what I've learned to try to convey to people is that's cool. You can put me down in this corner this time. But wherever you put me on the lineup, I bet you next time I'm gonna be in the center of that fucking poster. Because when I get done, I'm gonna beat your ass with this mic. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be on this stage and I'm gonna go so hard, you're gonna have to remember me next time. So you know that's how I look at it. And the advantage of being a fat. Shit out of you with Lucy. Well, no, I mean, but the advantage of being a fat gray haired dude is you stand out on stage. So if I just go hard, and that's just my euphemism for just go hard on that mic, your poster your ID on that poster, your lineup will change depending upon how well you do. I can tell you, we got 2 females on the Fire Mike show, Leah McBride and Aisha Brown. Aisha Brown from Indianapolis and Leah's from Cincy. And both of them are killers. Both of them have headline shows. Both of them can do their thing. Everybody on that bill can headline. I'm
going to get both of you girls on the show because I love getting female comedians on here. It's just harder to get them for some reason.
I endorse both of them, Leah and Aisha.
Well, hello, Spencer. Thank you for joining in our last 30 seconds.
What's up, Spence dog?
That is my nephew.
I've always wanted to say that. Spencer.
Spencer.
Y'all don't know where that's from. That's an old, never mind. That's an old TV show.
Yeah, no, this is
Spencer.
my nephew.
Never mind. What? So Spencer. Okay. So my bad, Spencer. You don't.
All right. So next week, I'm going to close this down. Next week,
Okay.
We were supposed to have Ryan on the show.
Oh, that narrows it down. Nobody else
hold
is named Ryan.
Hold on. Ryan Shipley. And Ryan Shipley went and broke his hip. I'm so sorry. So we are hoping that he gets better soon. And we're going to try and get him on as soon as possible. He's a really funny dude. So
cool.
I am in search to replace his spot. So DM me if you've got time next week to be on the show, preferably if you have tips. We're going to.
Well, then with that being said, I'll endorse Aisha. She right there in Indianapolis. She should be able to get here.
Aisha, we're
Aisha
doing
Brown.
a shout out. So if anybody wants to hit her up that knows her personally, I've not met her.
I don't know. She'll be right.
All right. So we are going to say peace out, you guys. Hit your open mics. And we'll see you again next week at same time, same place. Well, 5 o'clock. Peace out. Good.